Hey Pretty Girl Club, welcome back to the Texturism series. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about hair texture, envy, and hypocrisy in the Black community. So, this video is actually inspired by Modern Milena. Be sure to check out her channel. She's an amazing exotical. She's very good at her analysis, and she recently did a video on this topic as well, kind of like the whole hair texture thing. So, one hypocrisy that I've noticed is that let's say you're an unambiguous black woman with 4C hair and you like to wear bundles and, like the wigs, the straight wigs and stuff. And then you wear the wig and you are kind of flexing your hair and saying, oh, my hair looks cute. My hair is laid. Look at me. I'm slaying. Oh, my hair is so soft. Look at my baby hairs. It's okay for you to do that if your hair is fake. But if your hair is real and it's naturally like that and you show that same level of cockiness or that same level of confidence, then suddenly you are a texturist. So have you ever noticed that you're only allowed to show off and flaunt your hair if it's fake, or you're only allowed to show off and flaunt your hair if it's like a 4C? But let's say you have a type 3 hair texture and you're showing it off and you're flaunting it and you're posting on Instagram like, oh, I look like a baddie, or my hair is so soft, my hair is so silky, then suddenly it makes you a texturist. Have you ever noticed that hypocrisy? And another way that I think hair texture envy is created, and Modern Milena talked about this in her videos too, about how even when you're watching these YouTubers with 4C hair or they're unambiguous, you'll be watching them laying their wigs and stuff like that, and you can see their whole attitude change. You will see how excited they get when they put the wigs on. In some cases they will start like twerking. I've seen a lot of girls that do the bust down hairstyle, so the long straight hair down to your butt. I've seen girls like that, and they will like literally turn around on camera and start twerking, or they will be posting themselves with like bikini pics and their body wave, like water wave hairstyle at the pool. And they're doing that because they associate your hair texture with being sexy. They associate your type 3 hair texture with being feminine. And so there's not a problem with that, but I've noticed that if you actually do have that hair texture and you associate your own hair texture with being sexy or feminine, then suddenly it's bad and you think you're all that and you're a texturist. This kind of reminds me of Chili from TLC. Like, when Chili said that she's caramel without a tan, and then people randomly brought up Chili's hair texture because she has like type 2 hair. So they randomly brought up her hair texture and said she's letting all those baby hairs get to her head. So do you see how they automatically projected that superiority complex onto Chili? They assumed that because Chili has this looser hair texture that she must think she's all that. But my response is, what's wrong with Chili thinking she's all that? I mean, her hair texture is all that, right? Just like how your 4C hair can be all that, just like how your dark skin can be all that, just like how your body shape can be all that. Why is it that you can only flaunt your type 3 or type 2 hair if it's fake? You're not allowed to flaunt it if it's real, because if you're flaunting it and let's say you're mixed or something like that, oh no, you are a texturist. You are trying to punch down on black women. You're trying to put down women with 4C hair. And first of all, there are plenty of mixed people with 4C hair. So let's get that stereotype out of the way. But I've noticed that part of what happens though is a lot of young women who are unambiguous, they are trained from birth by their own insecure black mothers or fathers that their hair is hard to manage or that it's like very difficult. So I've seen a lot of young black girls get their hair relaxed since they were like 3 years old or 2 years old. And then they will grow up and maybe they don't like their hair. Maybe they don't like having 4C hair. And I've noticed that these types of women tend to get more triggered or angry if they see women with like type 3 hair kind of flaunting their hair or flexing their hair. And then people will say things like, oh, having type 3 hair is not a flex. Having XYZ hair type, that's not a flex. That's why you have struggle follicles. That's why you're cursed. And it's like, no, anybody can flex their hair texture if they want. Okay, so just like 4C hair can be flexed, type 3 hair can also be flexed. So if somebody with Danny Lay's hair texture wants to flex their loose curls, or if somebody with Chili's hair texture wants to flaunt their baby hairs, they have the right to be confident and love their hair texture just like anyone else. The only people that don't want you to love your hair are people who don't love their own hair. And this is also why in this community I've talked a lot about how unambiguous black women will project their internalized texturism onto lighter skinned women with 4C hair, or they will project that onto mixed race women with 4C hair like Doja Cat. If you look at my story time series on this channel, you'll see plenty of story times where girls with 4C hair, exoticals with 4C hair, they are being told by black women, oh, your hair looks hard, or, your hair doesn't look cute, or why do you have that hair texture? You're light skinned. You're not supposed to have nappy hair. So you've got people within the black community projecting this texturism onto other black people, and then, or mixed people, and then you turn around and get mad if a person with type 3 hair flexes their type 3 hair. But then it's not wrong if you buy some type 3 hair and you want to flex that. So do you see the hypocrisy? And I don't have a problem with people thinking that type 3 hair is pretty. That's not the problem. The problem is when you try to disparage women with type 3 hair and say they have struggle follicles, or talk about the disadvantages of type 3 hair, or you want to say that it's thin or it's not pretty or something, but then you turn around and go purchase that. And there's a reason why the most popular hair textures in the weave stores are, like some sort of type 3 or type 1 or type 2. And it's usually not 4C. Another thing that I've noticed is just even with the way your hair hangs, I've noticed that a lot of women in the unambiguous community, they emphasize hang time. They'll say, oh, my hair is getting long, I'm getting hang time. Notice how they don't say, my hair is getting long, it's growing up towards the sky, it's getting taller, it's getting more afro-like. They don't say that. So even the language sends a subconscious message that hair that hangs down your back is somehow more pretty or more feminine than hair that is reaching up towards the sky. And so that's not mixed people's fault. That's not people with type 3 hair's fault. I won't even say that that's necessarily white people's fault, because even when I am around white people, a lot of the white people that I'm around, they don't know type 1, type 2, type 3, 4A, 4C. So I've noticed that this is more of an internalized issue within the black community. And also, if you want to be proud of your hair, that's fine, but just don't get mad or feel threatened when other women are proud of their hair as well. So it's like, when it comes to these YouTube channels and stuff, you can't talk shit about women who have type 3 hair and then get mad if one of us claps back, or you get mad if a woman with type 3 hair wants to flaunt the fact that she has soft hair. Just because somebody is flaunting their features doesn't mean that they're insulting yours. And that's another thing I've noticed. Only insecure women don't want you to feel secure. I've noticed that a lot of people, they don't want exoticals to have self-esteem or confidence, and so they will try to call us colorist, texturist, featurist, or whatever, because they don't like the fact that we are coming on YouTube and loving ourselves out loud. They don't like the fact that we are flaunting whatever features we were born with. They don't like the fact that we are embracing those features. And it's like, just because someone looks different than you and they embrace how they look, it doesn't mean that they're trying to talk down on you. But another thing that I've noticed too is that, let's say you're a darker skinned exotical and you have type 3 hair. I call it the Y2K baddie aesthetic. So remember all of the early 2000s video vixens and stuff? So I noticed that there were a lot of exoticals of all shades in those music videos. So let's say you look like that. Let's say you're of a darker complexion and you have hair that hangs down your back, like it's a type 3 or something like that. I've noticed that a lot of unambiguous people, they will try to humble you. And sometimes they'll try to humble you using your dark skin tone, and they'll be like, well, you're still not light skinned. You're not light skinned with long hair. You're dark skinned with long hair. Or they will make comments like, oh, your white side won't accept you. The Indian community won't accept you. You would be in the slums. You're still a victim of colorism. And they're saying this because they don't want you to feel confident in your ambiguity. I've noticed that this is a very common humbling tactic against darker skinned, ambiguous women, because in the black community, there's an obsession with skin tone. And so it's basically your skin tone equals what you are. Like everything revolves around skin tone. And so if you happen to have a dark skin tone, I've noticed some unambiguous people, they will try to use that as a way to box you in. Like, oh no, you're dark skinned. There's no way you can be privileged. You're not allowed to be privileged because you're chocolate. As if chocolate skin tones are supposed to be at the bottom. And that's another thing that I don't like either, is in the black community, I've noticed there's a tendency to have this hierarchy mindset where certain hair textures and skin tones are at the bottom. So for example, even with the 4C hair texture, they'll be like, I don't foresee myself making that hairstyle, or I don't foresee myself looking pretty. So there are all these 4C hair jokes. So you're basically like ranking on yourself or dissing yourself. And if I were to repeat one of those jokes as a person who does not have 4C hair, I would be called a texturist. Or let's say you have 4C hair and you have a daughter who has 4C hair, and then she says, I don't like my 4C hair, I want to have 3C hair. Then you have the audacity to get upset as if you did not project that onto her by making these self-depreciating jokes and stuff like that. But going back to the whole point of having type 3 hair and then flaunting it being texturous thing, so I'll tell you a story about one of my friends from high school. We were in church actually, and I told you guys I grew up in like these big mega churches. But we were at one of those little summer camps, and there was this one unambiguous girl, and she kept being rude to my friend. And it was clear that she was jealous because she was automatically mean for no reason. She got mad because there was this one boy that she liked, and then the boy liked my friend or whatever. So it was just one of those typical high school things. No big deal, right? So I noticed that the unambiguous girl with the 4C hair, her hair was relaxed and it was like very short. I won't call it damaged because I don't know if she was trying to make it look a certain way. But she had the short, relaxed hair. And my friend, she had long 3B hair, so my same texture. Her hair was like down her back, maybe like bra strap length or something like that. And the unambiguous girl with the relaxer, she started making fun of my friend's 3B curls. And she was like, you need a brush. Like, that's why you need a brush, bitch. Like, saying stuff like that, basically. My friend, she took it for a while. And then I remember there was one point where the girl, she was walking up behind my friend. She wanted to like say something rude about her hair again. So she was like staring at her hair, trying to figure out ways to insult her. And my friend literally just flipped her hair in this girl's face. Like she looked back at her and she flipped her hair over her shoulders and walked away. So was that texturist? Was it texturous for my friend with the 3B hair? Was it texturous for her to flip her hair? Because I would say that if you consider that to be her being a texturist, the way that I see it is nobody can make you feel inferior without your permission. Okay, so if you don't feel like your 4C hair is inferior to 3B hair, you wouldn't necessarily think anything of it. But I noticed that unambiguous girl, all it took was my friend flipping her hair, and this girl got so pissed she wanted to start a fight. You know, this, and by the way, this is literally in a church setting. So she got that angry and that upset and that violently angry over my friend flipping her hair in her face after this girl literally was the one who brought up making fun of people's hair textures. My friend, she could have said so many different insults towards that girl. She could have said so many different things about her phenotype or whatever, but she simply chose to flip her hair, and I took it as she's flaunting it. You know, she's saying, no, I think my hair is beautiful. I think my hair is the shit, regardless of what you think. And so, yes, I'm going to flip my hair. I'm still going to flip it. You can call it ugly as much as you want. I will flip my hair in your face, and I will walk away. But I feel like if she would have done that today, she would have been called a texturist, or she would have been perceived as a texturist. And my question for the people who are quick to call others texturist is, what about that, flipping and flaunting your type 3 hair, what makes it texturist? Is it the fact that you love your hair? Is it the fact that you're flipping your hair? So now I'm not allowed to flip my hair? So now I have to not use certain muscles in my neck and shoulders to flip my hair because somebody else is going to feel like I'm looking down on them. So do you see how far the policing goes when you have type 3 hair? So it's like, okay, if I have type 3 hair, I'm not allowed to compliment my own hair. I'm not allowed to say my hair is slaying. I'm not allowed to say, oh, my hair is giving. Like, look at my baby hairs. I'm not allowed to flip my hair because then people are going to think I'm texturous. I have to allow people to make fun of my type 3 hair, and then I can't respond back or like flaunt my hair and say, well, I think it's pretty. I think it's cute, because then they're going to think I'm texturous. So do you see how people are trying to get you in a social bind? And this is all because of their own internalized inferiority complex. My friend knew that deep down inside, that girl in the high school, the girl at the church, she knew that that girl actually was jealous of her and had an inferiority complex. All my friend did was she simply flaunted a feature about herself that she found was beautiful. And she knew that it would trigger that girl's inferiority complex. And so that's another thing that happens is when you put different hair textures on a pedestal, and then when you have the audacity to come and talk shit about women who you pedestalize, some women are going to clap back. And in my opinion, that was a form of clapping back, her flipping her hair and walking away. I mean, like I said, though, she could have done something much worse. She could have punched the girl. She could have cussed her out. She could have humiliated her. She could have talked about her hair texture. But no, she flipped her hair. And then people probably would have interpreted that as, oh, she thinks she's better or superior. Have you ever noticed that whenever somebody says, you think you're better, they can never give an exact scenario where you showed that you think you were better? They never have any actual examples. You think your hair is prettier than mine. Okay, give an example. Give a timestamp. Give an audio clip of when she said her hair was better. Because in the case of my friend, she never said, well, my hair looks better than yours, my hair's longer than yours, my hair's thicker than yours. And technically, she could have responded with any of those things. But no, all she chose to do was flip her hair in the girl's face and walk away. And then the girl decided to become super violent or become violently angry. But I will say, that girl, she never messed with her again after that. But it's like, how are we supposed to respond if we have type 3 hair and people are bashing it? How are we supposed to respond? Because you can't just bully someone or be mean to someone or troll someone and then call them a texturous, featureless, racist, colorist if they clap back. Or if they decide to flaunt their hair in spite of what you say. Because that's how I viewed it. My friend was flaunting her beauty in spite of what my friend was saying. Because my friend knew she was cute. So you know how people say, you think you're cute? Well, yeah, if you think you're cute and that other girl does not think she is cute, then she's going to be triggered by pretty much anything you do. So anytime a girl with more social power, anytime she does something that is viewed as flaunting herself, she is automatically a texturist. But you wouldn't be calling her a texturist if you didn't have any envy for her hair texture. You wouldn't be mad if you did not view her hair texture as better than yours. If somebody with 4C locks or 4C hair flips their hair or they flaunt their hair, first of all, I wouldn't make fun of anybody with, I'm not that type of person, or I try not to be like that. But let's say a person has 4C hair or braids or something, and they're flipping their braids, they're posting pictures like, look at my braids, oh, these braids are so pretty, these braids are giving, then nobody has a problem, right? But if you have sleek, silky hair, and you post it online, oh, these braids are giving, oh, this is cute. Imagine if a celebrity did that and says, oh, my hair's so cute, my hair's so pretty, I love the loose curls. People would start calling them a texturist. So I've noticed that term texturist is often used as a humbling tactic or manipulation tactic, or it is used as a way to stop women with type 3 hair from being confident in their hair. Also, I'm going to pull up a screenshot that I got from Lipstick Alley. So this girl, she's talking about type 4 hair. She has type 4 hair. And she says, I struggled with hair acceptance too. But now I think of type 4 hair as the perfect braiding hair. She says straight hair is lauded by society, but braids look regal, intricate, and exotic, and the looser textures can't hold it like we can. Okay, so let's reverse that. Let's pretend that I said that about type 3 hair. Type 3 hair is the perfect braiding hair. Or what if I said type 3 hair is perfect for a silk press? Type 3 hair is perfect for slicking back and wearing in a wet and wavy style, and tighter textures cannot hold the wet and wavy style like type 3 hair can. I'd be called a texturist for saying that same exact phrase, but making it about type 3 hair. So do you see the hypocrisy? Do you see how a lot of people, because of their own inferiority complexes, they want to be able to flaunt certain features about themselves, but if you do the exact same thing and you have different features than them, then you must be a texturist, colorist, or racist. And this person down here, she says, my hair is 4B/4C, and I wouldn't want a looser curl pattern. I don't want it silky straight anyway. Okay, but let's reverse that. Let's pretend that I said my hair is 3B/3C, and I wouldn't want a tighter curl pattern. I want it to be silky straight. I'd be called a texturist for the same exact phrase. So once again, do you notice the hypocrisy? The pro-black movement has gotten so extreme, and the inferiority complexes have never been checked for hundreds of years at this point, to the point where now I can't even say the same sentence as a person with type 3 hair. I can't say my hair is a type 3 and I don't want it to be a tighter curl pattern. I want it to look silky. I can't say that because I would be considered texturist for saying that. And another thing I've noticed is people will say, well, you're not allowed to say that because society praises your features. And it's like, okay, I'm not the author of society. I'm not the queen of the world. I did not create the society we live in. Also, are you keeping that same energy with white people? Because the last time I checked, Sabrina Carpenter and Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande, these women celebrate their Italian heritage or their white heritage. They celebrate being a blue-eyed blonde, and they flaunt their features. So I don't see you keeping the same energy with them and calling them white supremacists and calling them racist for loving their blonde hair and loving their blue eyes and pointy features, their pointy noses, or the women who say, oh, I have a Roman nose, or oh, I have a Greek nose. I don't see you guys calling them featurists and texturists, so why is that energy only kept with exoticals? Have you ever had someone be envious of your hair texture? Have you ever had someone accuse your hair of being fake? Or have you ever felt uncomfortable with showing off or flaunting your natural hair because you feel like other people will feel insecure? Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.